We've all heard of Netflix. Who hasn't? Even if you don't watch TV, you know of its logo. You may have even used it yourself. But do you know how it started? Well, this is the story of how a poor boy built Netflix. From struggle to streaming, start with the beginning. This kid wasn't born with a silver spoon. In fact, he was born into poverty. So much so that his father left the family when Reed was just 2 years old. His mom had to work multiple jobs to make ends meet, which meant that Reed and his brother lived most of their lives alone. In a way, it made them grow up fast, too fast. They were forced to learn how to cook meals for themselves and take care of the household chores. And without many friends or family around, they poured their time into school. They wanted to be smart, very smart. For Reed, it was an escape. Books were his thing. He would read anything he could get his hands on. It seemed like he didn't want to miss out on a single thing that the real world had to offer. This continued until Reed was in college. He studied computer science, got a job, and everything seemed fine. But he always dreamed of a world beyond his limits. A world where his mind could wander without borders or wallets. A world full of stories. As a kid, he devoured books. As a teen, he found solace in music and movies. And he realized there was more to these stories than just entertainment. There were portals, gateways to different lives and perspectives. But he also saw the struggle of those who couldn't access these portals easily. Some didn't have the money, some didn't have the time, and some simply didn't know they existed. And that's when Reed's mind started ticking. He wanted to build something that would change all of that. It's something big. But first, let's paint the picture of how he saw it. The year is 1997. The giants of entertainment are ruling the game. On one side, you've got the cable networks pumping out endless channels of TV shows and movies. On the other side, movie studios churning out blockbusters and indie gems alike. And right in the middle, the almighty rental chains, the gatekeepers of home entertainment. And right in the middle of these giants, there's our boy Reed, just a tiny dot on the radar. Now, he's not bitter about being just another face in the crowd. He knows he's got something special inside him, a burning desire to create something of his own. But he also knows that if he wants to make it big, he's going to need more than just brains and bravado. He's going to need connections, resources, money. And trust me, he doesn't have any of that. In fact, he's working a regular job. He's got bills to pay and dreams to chase. But every night when the city sleeps, he pours his heart and soul into his secret project. It's not easy. He's juggling multiple jobs, trying to make ends meet while chasing his dream. It's tough, but he's got grit and determination. He won't let go of his dream. Then one day something happens, something that will change everything. He's running late. Again, traffic's a nightmare and he's already dreading the late fees he's about to pay. Finally, he makes it to the video store, hands over his copy of Titanic and gets charged $3. Yeah, you heard it right, $3. It's not the end of the world, but it's enough to set off a chain reaction in Reed's mind. As he walks back to his car, kicking every pebble in sight, he starts thinking about the entire system. Movie studios produce the films, the distributors show them in theaters, and the rental chains buy the rights to show them at home. Customers like him pay to rent them. The whole time, what do they get? A scratched up VHS tape or a late fee. He's furious, frustrated, and determined to find a better way. That's it. He won't take it anymore. He can't. And that's when the crazy idea pops into his head. What if movies came to your doorstep? No late fees? No physical stores? You could pick movies from the comfort of your couch and instantly watch them on your TV. No more waiting, no more trips. Sounds ridiculous, but Reed's onto something big. He knows he's not the first to think of streaming, but he believes he can do it better, faster and cheaper. It's a long shot, but he's willing to bet on himself. He quits his job, takes his savings, and dives headfirst into his crazy idea. It's risky, it's scary, but he's more afraid of not trying than failing. After all, what's the worst that could happen? His mom works hard as a secretary. She's tired of typing other people's stories. She wants to write her own. One day she finds out about Reed's idea and offers to help. She invests everything she has, her savings, her faith, and her time. Together, they start building Reed's idea, bit by bit, line of code, customer by customer. It's a slow burn, but they're in it for the long haul. And then the first prototype is born. It's not perfect, but it's a start. Soon after, a few friends join them, lending their skills and sweat equity to the cause. The team is small, but they're mighty. They work day and night, fueled by pizza and passion. They're not looking for fame or fortune, at least not yet. They just want to make it work. In the meantime, they try to keep a low profile, but word gets out anyway. And soon, they're attracting attention from the most unlikely of places. The spotlight shines bright, but it's not the kind of attention they're expecting. It's Blockbuster. The name echoes with power and prestige. For movie lovers, it's the holy grail of entertainment. But behind the shiny facade, things are a lot different. There's a board meeting going on. Executives are sipping coffee, discussing the latest trends and threats to their business. And then someone mentions this new online streaming service, they'll laugh it off. Blockbuster could crush it with just a flick of its corporate finger, but they decide to check it out anyway. Now, Reed and his team are aware of Blockbuster's looming presence, but they're too focused on their mission to be intimidated. They've got something special, and they plan to show it off at the next big tech conference. It's their chance to shine, to prove themselves to the world. And wouldn't you know it, Blockbuster's CEO is attending the conference. Little do they know, this chance encounter will change everything. Reed's pitch is impressive. His team is passionate, and the demo is flawless. But Blockbuster's CEO isn't impressed, sees the potential, but he also sees a threat. The casual viewer might not even consider it a threat. It's just a small company with a big dream, but he knows better. He's been in this game for decades, and he can smell trouble from a mile away. He decides to make a counteroffer. He wants to buy out Reed's company, lock them in as a partner. But Reed's not interested. He wants to stay independent, to pursue his own vision without any strings attached. The CEO is taken aback. He's never seen someone turn down his offer before, especially not a young upstart like Reed. He's intrigued, to say the least. A battle of wits ensues. The CEO plays his cards close to his chest, but Reed holds firm. He knows he is onto something big, and he is not about to give it up without a fight.
The CEO leaves empty-handed, but he's got a new respect for this young upstart.
He might have missed out on this opportunity, but he won't be making that mistake again. The stage is set for an epic showdown. Blockbuster is ready to rumble, but it's not the only giant standing in Reed's way. Investors are cautious, competitors are circling, and customers are fickle. But Reed's not one to back down. He keeps pushing, keeps innovating, and eventually the tide turns. People start taking notice. The startup becomes a sensation, and everyone's talking about it. Even Blockbuster can't ignore it anymore. They try to compete, but they're too late to the game. They're too big to move fast, and they're too focused on profits to take risks. They might be the king of the hill, but they're about to be dethroned. It's not easy. There are setbacks, failures, and moments of self-doubt. But Reed keeps pushing through, knows the vision is worth it. And as the years go by, his small startup becomes a household name. The rest is history. How did a poor boy with a dream change the world? Dared to imagine a world without borders or barriers. He created a platform where anyone could tell their story and everyone could watch it. He didn't just disrupt an industry, he redefined it. Showed us that we don't need to wait for permission. We can just do it ourselves. And in doing so, he gave voice to millions of creators and viewers alike. He's not just a tech icon, he's a cultural icon. He's changed the way we watch, share, and interact with stories. And it all started with a dream and a broken VCR. I'm not just telling you his story, I'm sharing his spirit. So ask yourself, what stories do you want to tell? How can you break the barriers and connect with the world? Because the truth is, we're all just stories waiting to be told. We might just be the one who does it.